Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Soul Whisper with Vangie. In this channel, we journey together through the whispers of the soul, exploring dreams, prayers, reflections, and the mysteries of the heart. Each time we gather here, it is not by accident. You are here because your soul is seeking deeper truth, gentler light, and greater love. In this episode, I want to take you deeper into my own journey. The painful, raw, and yet sacred story of how my twin flame awakening forced me to face myself, to confront my shadows, and to walk through the fire of ego death before I could ever discover the light of my true soul. This is not an easy story to tell, but I share it with you because I know that there are hearts out there carrying the same burdens. Hearts that need to hear that they are not alone. When my twin flame awakening began, it was as if all of life turned into a mirror. Every weakness in me, every wound I had tried to hide, every prideful thought I carried, they all rose to the surface. At work, I started to notice conflicts becoming more frequent. What used to be small issues suddenly felt like attacks against me. A simple misunderstanding with a colleague would ignite a fire of anger within me. I would flare up so quickly, reacting with harshness, throwing words like arrows. I spent so much of my energy on fighting, defending myself, convincing myself that I was right and they were wrong. I wore the mask of the victim while seeing everyone else as my oppressor. But the truth was, I was trapped inside the walls of my own ego. The more I fought, the more isolated I felt. I convinced myself that no one understood me, that no one stood by me. And in my pride, I began to harden my heart. Selfishness crept in silently. I thought only of my pain, my struggles, my battles. At night, my mind would not rest. Overthinking became a constant companion. I replayed every conflict, every harsh word, every misunderstanding. I filled my heart with misery until the weight became unbearable. And then, my dear friends, there came a moment so dark that I truly believed life was no longer worth living. In my despair, I thought of ending not only my life, but also my son Daniel's life. I told myself, it is just the two of us left in this world, and perhaps leaving would free us from the pain. Those were the heaviest, most painful thoughts I had ever faced, and yet they were real. They were the echo of a soul drowning in its own shadows. But here is the sacred mystery. Sometimes We must fall so that we can rise. In the silence of my brokenness, God whispered to me, not with thunder, not with lightning, but with a soft, steady presence that said, "You are not alone. You are not forsaken. You are my child, and your son is my gift to you. His life is precious. Your life is precious. Rise again." And in that moment, I felt something inside me die. Not my soul, but my ego. The part of me that demanded control. The part that clung to pride. The part that thought it was me against the world. And in its place, I felt something gentle awaken. A small flame. The light of my true self. The radiant soul that had always been there, waiting for me beneath the shadows. The journey after that was not instant healing. It was a slow, sacred unfolding. I began to see my colleagues not as enemies, but as mirrors. Each conflict became a teacher. Each misunderstanding revealed something in me that needed healing. Instead of reacting with anger, I began to pause. Instead of shouting, I began to listen. And slowly, I saw how much energy I had wasted in pride. I saw how much love I had blocked from flowing freely. I started to let go of the victim mindset. I was not oppressed. I was being refined. God was using these colleagues, these challenges, to burn away my arrogance and reveal the diamond of my soul. And now, as I share this with you, I realize that what I once thought was punishment was in fact grace. My twin flame awakening was not about another person alone. It was about me. It was about stripping away the illusions, the masks, the false self. It was about dying to my ego so that I could be reborn as my true self. And my son Daniel, the one I once thought I would lose, became my anchor of love, my reminder of what I must live, why I must live, why I must rise, why I must shine. My dear beautiful souls, if you are walking through the fire of ego death, if you are facing the shadows of pride, anger, and despair, please remember this. You are not being destroyed. You are being transformed. What feels like the end is often the beginning. The breaking of your ego is the birth of your soul. And through it all, God's love will never leave you. Your radiant self is waiting to emerge. Thank you, beautiful souls, for walking with me in this sharing. I pray my story reminds you that even in the darkest nights, light is always being born. This is Vangie of Soul Whisper with Vangie.